Welcome back to another video, everyone. Today we are taking a look at the NyloNove EUC pedals. They make them for a variety of different EUC models. Of course, I have mine for the Inmotion V14, and on Memorial Day weekend I took a nice little ride up into the Oakland Hills to try them out. First impressions, they're really great. They're super grippy, definitely more so than the original stock pedals of the Inmotion V14. They have those nice metal studs that are adjustable. They came with two different pairs of shims, a flat shim and a ergo shim, which rises on both the heel and the toe. It's a fairly lightweight pedal since they're made out of a hard plastic. I know Roger EUC showcased them in his video. They are prone to potentially scratching, but overall hold up quite well. And what was crazy about this day is that I ended up running into another group of EUC riders, the Float Pack, and they invited me to tag along on their ride, which was really cool. So I ended up riding with them for a little ways before I went on my own way. But really good way to test out the pedals because they were pushing my comfort zone with how fast we were riding, which was mostly around 30 miles an hour, but on roads that I wasn't familiar with. So it was definitely a good challenge, and keep watching to find out how that went. So here I am just riding along Grizzly Peak, and then I just randomly see two EUCs come out of this mountain, and so there must be a trail up there, and I'm thinking, no way, how random is this? This guy doesn't actually see me at first, so I just kind of keep on riding, otherwise I would have stopped. So I was like, okay, I'll keep riding, and then I guess he must have saw me eventually, and so they speed to catch back up, and this is how the conversation went.
Yeah. Oh, out here riding? Memorial Day ride. Nice, man. So there's a good trail up there for riding? Yeah, there's a trail up there. Yeah. We came out on that trail. Nice view as well. Very good. All right, catch you later. Easy.
Okay, so then at this point, they race on ahead. They're going way faster than I am, probably like close to 40-something miles an hour or over that. And I'm just trying to see if I can catch up at all. They absolutely dust me, but I ride for a little bit longer and eventually do catch up to them, and that's where they meet up with the larger Float Pack group.
Nice wheel.
Thanks.
We're doing a ride to Berkeley. Want to join us?
Yeah, I mean, I might be a little slow, but I'll try to keep up.
We'll keep it slow. What's your name?
Kevin.
Sherwood, nice to meet you.
No, I know.
Kevin. Forward to say the ride. You want to do a group photo real fast, Leon?
No, sure.
Gather around. Kevin, you too.
Our initiation process is pretty chill.
I've been adopted. Alright, you're up.
Hang on, I'm going.
So the Float Pack was a super welcoming group of people, even gave me some stickers for the Float Pack and some other things, and yeah, just really welcoming community, so I really appreciated that. And then here is when we actually start the group ride together, and I'm thinking, oh man, I hope I can keep up. But they do keep it fairly relaxed for the first little bit here, and then they eventually start speeding up. And I think there's one guy that's usually riding behind me just to make sure that I'm not the last one in the group, so that was also really nice of them. It's worth noting that this is actually my first group ride with EUC riders, so it was a really interesting and fun experience to be part of a big group like that. When you have more numbers on the road, you feel a little bit safer and a sense of camaraderie between the riders. What was nice is that when they did get ahead, they would find a place to pull over on the side of the road so that the whole group could catch up before they would start off again. There was this one part on the road here where you can see the guy in front of me was trying to tell me to slow down because there's a rough patch of road. Everyone else in the group is hooked up to the Cardo communication system, and so they're all talking with each other and can notify each other of the hazards, but they did the best they could to notify me. Anyways, it was still a little bit of a surprise, but I made it through unscathed. Alright, so this is where my camera was right about to die. The ride did go on for a little ways longer toward the UC Berkeley campus, which was really cool, and then ended up finishing in downtown Berkeley where I split from the rest of the group. And I just want to give a big thanks to the Float Pack for letting me tag along on their group ride. I had a lot of fun, and hopefully I get to do it again soon. Alright, so for this next part of the video, I figured I would go over the installation process for the NyloNove pedals. The first thing I did was remove the side panels and pads just to give myself more access, but you may not need to do this. Next thing you'll do is unscrew all the pedal hanger bolts for your existing pedals. I always like to get started with the hex key or Allen wrench to avoid stripping the screws, and then finish off with the electric screwdriver. Once you've removed the pedal and the pedal hanger bracket off of the existing wheel, you'll now need to remove the rod from the pedal and the pedal bracket so that you can free up that bracket for the new pedal. And you do this by unscrewing those two small screws and getting that rod out. Sometimes you need to use an Allen key or something skinny to pry that bar out because it can be stubborn, especially if you've crashed it all and those rods can get bent sometimes. Then here I'm just comparing the two pedals. You can see the NyloNove pedal has almost the same dimensions as the stock V14 pedal, except for there's just a little cutaway in the middle of the pedal. Then I was just tightening down the dihedral angle bolts just because I didn't want them rattling around. Now I'm making sure that the E-Ride's pedal hangers actually fit the NyloNove pedals. They do, they're the exact same as the stock V14 pedal hangers. For this next step, you have to first remove the two gray shoulder pieces on the NyloNove pedal so that you can remove that bolt that comes with the pedal. And then you can attach the bracket to the NyloNove pedal and reinsert that bolt, and then reattach the gray shoulder pieces and tighten those down. Next step is to apply Loctite to the pedal hanger bolts. The pedals don't come with Loctite, so you may need to purchase that separately. You want to do that to each of the bolts and then install them. I like to both start and end tightening by hand with a hex wrench so that I'm not stripping the screw or over tightening it. Then here I discovered that in order to increase the tension on the pedal closing and opening mechanism, you actually have to both tighten the middle bolt inside of the pedal hanger as well as those 2 screws on the top of the NyloNove pedal. And now it's working properly. Next step is to reapply your side panel with pads and repeat on the other side. Here I have the power knobs pad installed. So obviously the pedal doesn't close all the way, but that's about the angle that you want. And then I was just showing that I picked the gray color to match my Grizzly pads. Overall, not too bad on the install. Alright, so I just wanted to end the video with some closing thoughts about the NyloNove EUC pedals. Overall, I really do like them. A couple things to consider though. Shipping times may vary. I ended up ordering them during Easter when they were on break, and I guess had a little promotion going on, and they received tons of orders, and so it took 4 weeks to get my pedals, whereas I think Roger maybe got his in 2 weeks. So that's just something to consider. I don't think the pedals come with both sets of shims. I could be wrong on that. It may have just been for the promotion, but something to check in on. If you do actually want to change the shims, it's quite a labor-intensive process because you have to unscrew every single stud that's in the pedal so that you can get the new shim on there. And then if you're installing the ergonomic shim with higher raised platforms on each side, then you actually need to replace the sets of studs with the taller versions that come with the pedals so that they're the appropriate height for the pedal. Just one other thing to consider there. But otherwise, yeah, I really like the pedal a lot. They are very grippy. Put them through the ringer on that float pack group ride. You know, lots of unknown terrain. Had to navigate bumps and turns and all types of things. And the pedals handled them really well. So I'm really happy with the purchase. You know, they're right about the same price as the E-Rides pedals. I think they're probably lighter because they're made out of plastic instead of metal, but still solid construction. And yeah, I would definitely recommend them. As always, if you're still watching, like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video.